Investigations ongoing in the death of a Jamaican farm worker in Canada. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security has confirmed reports of the death of a Jamaican worker on a farm in Niagara-on-the-Lakes in Ontario, Canada. The ministry says an initial report from the Jamaica Liaison Service in Canada indicates that about 7:25 a.m. on Friday, May 26, the 32-year-old worker did not get out of bed. The report also adds that efforts by paramedics to resuscitate the man had been unsuccessful. A subsequent report confirmed that the coroner had determined that the death was due to natural causes. The ministry says preparations are being made to have the body repatriated to Jamaica. The majority of midwives across the island called in sick on Monday. The action is reported in response to several job-related challenges including staff shortages as well as issues relating to the public sector compensation review. The Midwives Association is now scheduled to meet later today to discuss the issue and decide on the way forward. Errol Green, Regional Director for the Southeast Regional Health Authority, said the sickout has resulted in doctors and other nurses performing tasks usually carried out by the midwives. Justice Minister Delroy Chuck has expressed disappointment over what he terms the inadequate sentence imposed on convicted rapist Davian Bryan. Bryan pleaded guilty to multiple counts of rape, forcible abduction, and other assault charges and is to spend just over 23 years behind bars. He'll be eligible for parole after 16 years. Bryan was sentenced when he appeared in the St. Thomas Parish Court last Wednesday. In a media release yesterday afternoon, Mr. Chuck said a sentence of life imprisonment would have been more appropriate. He said Bryan demonstrated by his own admission that he's a sexual predator. Meanwhile, the country has recorded a significant reduction in the number of road fatalities for the first 5 months of this year when compared with the similar period in 2022. Up to June 4th of this year, there were 171 deaths compared with 210 last year. This represents 39 fewer fatalities. The St. Anne police have charged a man accused of abducting and raping a teenager he met on social media. DeCarlos Christie, 36 years old, was charged on the weekend with abduction, rape, grievous sexual assault, and using a computer for malicious communications. Investigators said that on May 17, the accused met the 18-year-old complainant via TikTok and told her that something was wrong with her and she must oil her body and send the videos to him. After she sent the videos, it's alleged that Christie invited the teen to his home in St. Anne, claiming he could perform a ritual to cure her. He allegedly threatened to expose the videos online if she refused to come to his house. Investigators said that the teenager traveled to St. Anne where she was abducted and raped. The matter was reported to the police and Christie was arrested when he went to the Cave Valley Police Station to report on condition of bail in another case against him. A popular Linstead St. Catherine pharmacy operator who was shot and injured on Saturday has died of his injuries in hospital on Sunday. The attack and subsequent killing of 47-year-old Decian White from Jericho District in the parish has sent shockwaves through the Linstead community. White operates the Your Choice Family Pharmacy in Linstead. The police said that they have not yet established a motive for the attack nor identified any suspects. But the Linstead police had reported that about 7:30 p.m., White was driving a grey Honda motorcar along the Jericho Main Road, and upon reaching the vicinity of the Jericho Bridge, he was pounced upon by a gunman who opened gunfire, hitting him multiple times. The police were summoned and White was taken to the Linstead Hospital where he was admitted in serious condition. He succumbed to his injuries about 2:30 p.m. on Sunday. Meanwhile, police in South Florida arrested 2 men over the weekend and are continuing to search for a third person suspected of going on a Memorial Day shooting spree along a busy beachside promenade that injured 9 people. Detectives from the Hollywood Police Department took Ariel Paul into custody on Sunday night, the agency said in a news release. On Saturday, Hollywood detectives and the U.S. Marshal Task Force arrested Jordan Burton. Paul and Burton have been identified by police as the shooters along with Lionel Jean Charles Jr., who has yet to be arrested, the agency said. They will each face charges of attempted first-degree murder, 8 counts of attempted murder in the second degree, and 1 count of carrying a concealed firearm. 2 other men who were involved in the altercation that led to the shooting, Morgan DeSalucis and Kishan Stewart, both 18, were arrested last week on firearm charges, police said. Meanwhile, ex-Jamaican policeman and popular dancehall producer Miller 9 is one of 2 countrymen now facing possible death penalty if convicted of a murder and attempted robbery incident that was captured on CCTV at a house in Irvine in California in the U.S. in 2019. The 44-year-old producer, whose real name is Omar Miller, has been charged along with 37-year-old former Jamaica College student athlete Andre Omar Andrews, who was a resident of Miramar, Florida in the U.S. The victim of the home invasion was identified as 20-year-old businessman Raymond Alcala. Another individual was shot during the invasion on October 26 of 2019, but his injuries were not considered life-threatening, police reports stated at the time. These men have now been in custody since January of 2020. U.S. prosecutors reports indicate intent to ask for the death penalty during a pre-trial hearing this Friday, June 9, ahead of a jury trial which is scheduled for October 6 in the Orange County Superior Court. Onto sports, St. Anne's Mount Pleasant FA have qualified for the first ever Jamaica Premier League final after beating former champions Arnett Gardens 3-1 on Sunday's return leg semi-final at Sabina Park for a 5-3 aggregate. The teams came into the game locked at 2-2 after last week's first leg, but a double from the competitor's top scorer, Trevante Stewart, took the Theodore Whitmore coach team to a comprehensive victory, snapping Arnett Gardens' 17-game unbeaten run. Meanwhile, Cavalier advanced to their second final in 3 years by defeating Harborview 3-1 on aggregate following their 2-0 win in the second leg semi-final at Sabina Park on Sunday. The final between Mount Pleasant and Cavalier is now scheduled for this Sunday, June 11. And if you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.